Hi my loves, how's it going? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. I believe it's now update number 3 for this project plan. I have been doing decent at this project and I'm surprised because I was looking back at the last sort of couple of years with the different shades, well sorry, not shades but different colours that we've done, and I remember like barely ever getting many products to use, decluttering most of them, like, getting bored, not necessarily bored, but like extremely overwhelmed and like having to stop this project. And I've come to a point where I know we're not even like halfway through, but I've made some decent progress. You're gonna have to ignore how ugly my hair looks and how sweaty I appear. It is so freaking hot again. I don't understand the heat. Heat wave is too much in the UK. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah. Um So, this is going to be the update for 50 Shades of Black. I'm super excited to share with you guys. I have even more MTs today. I'm shocked. So, if you like project planning videos, please make sure you like, subscribe, and let's just get right into the update. As always, I'll share the things that I've actually used up, and there's like a decent variety of different products. There's one that I'm especially like excited for and super proud of, but we'll start off by these two. These are the Redken Color Extend Magnetics shampoo and conditioner. I got this as like a free gift with purchase last year in January when I initially did a sale with them, or a purchase with them, and at the time I had dyed my hair. It basically appeared ginger, and I dyed my hair and I needed some like good products. This was one that got recommended a lot, and I bought the full size version, and then they threw in like a free set as I could give with purchase after spending a certain amount of money on the brand. And I did buy two other things at the time from Redken, and I'm glad that I'm finally used these up because they were just collecting dust for such a long time, and I just didn't like the idea of having these for such a long period, and I wanted to get them used up. Also, these are pretty small products, and I don't know why it took me so long to use them up in the first place, but yeah, I don't necessarily think I'll be planning on dyeing my hair going forward. I do have, as you can see, like bits of the pink in my hair, but literally as my hair grows, I'm going to end up chopping all of that colour off and then not have any more coloured hair because I'm currently trying to figure out what the hell the issue is with my scalp and trying to like maintain and manage it, because I feel like if I end up dyeing my hair, I'm going to have to use very specific products, and sometimes those products are just not enough or good enough for said hair conditions, sorry, scalp conditions. So I don't want to like deal with that just yet. I have so many other issues going on right now, and I'd rather just go back to my natural hair. It's a lot more easier to maintain, and I'm trying to just take it as easy as I can. So yeah, I mean, these are okay. I don't necessarily recommend them. If I was to go back and dye my hair, I don't think I would necessarily pick these two up because I felt like even though these are supposed to be for color treated hair, I felt like these washed up my color quite a lot. And I did have like colorful kind of hair, not like the neutral sort of shades. I don't know how it would be if I had like more neutral colors, but I had like more like colorful stuff in my hair and it just wasn't working. I tried it with the pink, washed out. I tried it with the copper that I had, washed out again. So there's just no point in me. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it either. So that's that done. I use up this face mask. I have gone through quite a lot of these over the years. I really like this because it's a nice mask that you can just peel off everything, and you can kind of get rid of a good chunk of like blackheads, sebaceous filaments, and just bits in your skin. And I really like it for that reason. I've gone through probably like 5 or 6 of these throughout the years, probably even more than that, I'll be very honest. And at the moment, I don't have any more of these. So eventually, I will be purchasing some of these again. I don't use all the time. I'll use them like every now and again to really just if I want to like clear my skin, and it's fine. It works. Obviously, I probably wouldn't recommend it on like multiple times a week. I don't think that's necessarily good for your skin. Um, yeah, it's a pretty good like peel off mask, and I think this is just a staple within my skincare. Like I'll always have to have one of these. Obviously, right now I'm not trying to buy anything new for like some time, but eventually when I do, this will be one of the masks that stay in rotation at all times. I use up this eye cream, and I think last update I said I was struggling to use this. And one thing I found was, and I don't think this is necessarily going to be the most fairest review because by the time I got around to actually using the product, I had it for quite a long time. This is a clean skincare brand. These don't last a long time. They have a much shorter shelf life than regular products that you'd get in the market. So by the time I actually got around to using it, when I was using it under my eyes, it wasn't like absorbing into the skin. I was literally just moving the product from one side to the next, and it didn't sink into my skin at all. In the end, I had to just use this up as a face moisturizer, and I had to wait till my skin completely dried out before putting this on. That's the only way I was literally able to use it up. So you can see the sort of last three lines on this product, and then since then I just used it up as a moisturizer, and that's the only way I could get done, because it got to a point it got really frustrating. Like, I'm trying to use an eye cream and it's not working as eye cream. There's no point. And I thought about decluttering it, and I thought actually I could just use it as a face moisturizer because I was finishing the ones that I had, and it made sense and it worked out that way. And I'm glad. The last two products I have are makeup products. This is the Altitude Cosmetics Lip Oil. I love these. I've gone through 6 of these in the last like 2 years, I think. They're such a nice lip oil. I prefer these over the Dior ones. I know that's like a big statement, but it's true. I said it. I like these more than the Dior ones. These feel softer, actually feel hydrating. They're not sticky. They're a lot more like reasonable and very much so affordable. They don't burn your lips. They're actually hydrating. They give a lovely, lovely shine. And I really like these. And the fact that they're from an indie brand who actually like is not only one, she's extremely supportive, two, she puts in a lot of hard work in the brand and you can kind of see it as well. And she shares the entire experience too, which is crazy. I'm not saying others don't, but it's nice to sort of see the behind the scenes as well. I love this. This is like the last one, and I'm kind of sad I've used all of these up because I'm trying not to buy any more lip products. I have so many. But if I was to ever go back and repurchase lip oils, exclusively I would be buying these ones from Altitude Cosmetics. This is the scent Wicked Watermelon, and she originally had 6. She's actually expanded that line and now has like 12, which is nice. And there are so many other scents I want to use. She's also repackaged these since I bought these, so they look quite different to this. This is just like a close up of the product. I should really clear all of that shit. I don't know where to put it, but I really need to clear that stuff. There's like a blank wall, but I guess that's just a journey for another day. But yeah, really love this. I highly recommend it. And I just, yeah, if I could, I would only repurchase these lip oils going forward. The most exciting product I finished was this foundation. I've had this for a long time. It pretty much was expired. I literally used it up yesterday and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to sit down today and make sure that I record the updates, that I have enough time to edit as well so this can go up. But still, I used this foundation. It took me forever to do it. I've had this, I think, for like 3, 4 years, which is a long time. And when I initially bought this, I think, trying to use it in the summertime. However, because my skin is very oily, this is not going to work for oily skin. I can use this in the winter and it will last for a long time and it looks beautiful. However, in the warmer months, I cannot use this because of how oily my skin can get. And then it just like separates the foundation no matter what I do beforehand. So during the winter time, I was actually using this all the time. It was like my go-to foundation. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. But then it got to a point where I had 2 foundations, this one and another one in my other project pan. And I was struggling using the two. That one was too orange, which I'm wearing it today and it actually matches me really well, but that's because I'm so tanned now. And this one was too light. But this is also so old to the point the color has changed. It never used to look yellow on me. It used to be the perfect match on me, and over the last sort of couple of months when I've been using it, it's starting to look more yellow and as if it's the wrong shade of foundation. So yeah, took me a very long time. Each month I was like, am I going to use it up? I've used up so much already, like what's going on? But literally just over like the last sort of month, I could see all of this kind of clearing out because it was a lot more of a deeper shade in here, and I'm just glad it's finally done. Took me a long time. I would only use this foundation for like half the year. Definitely try and repurchase it when I can if it's ever on sale. But again, I would only really use it in the cooler months because it just works so much better for me at that time. And I like the fact that it's like a medium type of coverage. I think that's sometimes really nice to have. But again, this would exclusively be a winter foundation for me. It just doesn't work in the summer. It won't ever work in the summer unless if I don't have like any massive hormonal changes and then my skin goes from like being really oily to like being dry all of a sudden. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, it's a good foundation. Hella expensive, but it was really nice. When it works for you, it really works for you, and it looks stunning. Before I actually get into the rest of the update, I realized I lost one of the hand creams that were originally part of this. I'll add the picture somewhere up here so you guys can see which product I'm talking about. So instead, because I'm going to just have to take the L and accept that I've lost it, I'm going to roll in this product instead. This is the Fable and Mane sort of Amla Scalp Oil. This is so nice. This is my second bottle of this. I used up one small, like, mini bottle of this, and this is like the full size one. And even then, I've actually used up like a decent amount. So you can see here, I'm literally at this point, I've already marked it here as is, and I used it last night, so I need to wash it out today. It's a really good scalp product. I use this because my scalp can get really itchy, and if I know that I'm going to be showering the next day at night time, I tend to put this on my scalp. And when I do this, one, it helps soothe the scalp a little bit, but two, once I wash this product out, I feel like the volume in my hair is just unmatched, and my scalp actually feels clean, which I really appreciate and I really like. And I've been using this on and off for the last couple of months, and I think this is gonna quite easily become a big sort of staple within my routine. I want to try other Fable and Main products because I'm not gonna lie, I really like this. And imagine getting on the PR list. I would die. I would actually die. I love the ethics of the brand as well. I think they work really well. They've done some amazing things. They also, I know they donate, they have like a fund. And I think that's like an environmental fund as well, which I love stuff like that. I'd always support stuff like that. I think it's great. And because it is a South Asian owned brand, and I love how like they add elements of the culture and like the history within as well. I think that itself is a really big thing, and I love that. And it's really nice to sort of see that representation coming through. And yeah, obsessed. Honestly, obsessed. I love this product. I will definitely be buying more of the products, just not at the moment because I have to hit pause on purchasing. But yeah, I'm gonna just roll it in instead of the hand cream because what else can I do? I'm just gonna talk about the makeup products I've got in this project pan, and I'm gonna talk about this Diego Dalla Palma eye pencil. I really like this. It's a really good black eye pencil, and it has a long lasting power to it too. It lasts me a long time. I have very watery eyelids. It does not take me much to for my eyes to get watery. Literally, I just had someone around for like a few minutes and my eyes started to get watery. The second it's too bright or just whatever it is, I just can't help it. And a lot of eye pencils don't necessarily work or they don't last as long. This one, however, is really good. I got this as like a free product. Either, well, I say free, but technically I still did pay for it. It was either as part of one of the beauty boxes or one of the beauty advent calendar boxes. One of those situations, I can't remember how I ended up getting this, but I knew it was through that point. And I've really enjoyed this. It's probably one of my favorite black pencils. And I don't have much from the brand. I think I've only got this and maybe a lip liner, and that's it. And I love this. I highly recommend this. I used it the other day and it just looks so good. I think I've, in the past as well, when I've posted makeup looks or posted videos with black eye pencil, it's been this one, and I highly recommend. And I've actually made progress. I'm going to show you on here. So as you can see, it's not much progress to begin with, but it's fine. So that's sort of the line initially. That was like the last update. I forgot to update it last month when I was doing the video, and that's just where it is now. So there's very slow progress being made, but there is still progress. Initially, I wanted to use up this product. I don't know if that is necessarily going to be the case because it is still like quite a lot of like product in here that will take me some time to use up. But we'll see. It is a really good product. I really enjoy using it, and I have been enjoying using it for some time. And if I could, I would probably end up repurchasing this pencil. Obviously, I have other black pencils right now, so there's no rush to go out and buy it. But it is a really, really good product, and I really recommend it, especially if you have sensitive eyes and you sort of struggle with finding products that can either last long or they don't irritate your eyes. I'd really recommend this one. I've had this for some time, and it hasn't expired either. Because I know sometimes some products, even though you've not had them for that long, they can suddenly start to irritate your eyes. And my eyes are generally very sensitive, so it does not take much for them to just get watery and that's it, my makeup's gone. But yeah, I really like this and I would highly recommend it. Next up, I have two of the Huda Beauty lip products. One of these is the liquid matte lipstick. The other one is a lip gloss. I've got one use on each of these since the last update, which takes this one to 3 and this one up to 2. The goal is only to hit 10 uses, and to be honest, I could potentially end up continuing using these and trying to pan them. I don't know how long it will take me to pan the liquid lipstick, but the lip gloss I can definitely get panned because it's kind of showing up it won't really be able to see it that clearly, but there's like that much progress so far. So there's definitely visible progress. There's also a window showing up there, which is really nice to see. And I've only had like hit 2 uses so far, and I don't count it in terms of how many times in a day I've grabbed the product. It's more how many times I've grabbed the product through like, so if I used the product yesterday 20 times, that only count for 1 use, because that's one day I actually grabbed the product to use. Because if I did it like how many times each time I used it, I would hit my goals a bit too easily. So I just decided not to do that. So yeah, there's a chance I could end up deciding to keep this in the project and just planning it. But this one, when it hits 10 uses, I'm gonna just be done with the product, because I'm not ready to commit to it just yet. Because I have so many other lip products I need to sort of get used up and get out of my collection. But that's not saying that next year I'm not gonna um plan this up. So again, we'll see, but that's just where I'm right now. The last makeup product is this NARS concealer. I've had 1 use on it since the last update. I'm not using this one as much right now because I have another concealer my cousin gave to me because she didn't like it, and it's a bit of a deeper concealer which will only work for me when I'm tanned. So I have to kind of prioritize and use that right now. I was trying to use it before when I wasn't tanned and using this concealer as like a brightening concealer, and that worked pretty well. And that's how I got like a couple of uses in it over the last couple of months. However, the goal has shifted and I want to use that concealer up first and get that done before I go back to this one. Also, this is a mini. This is not going to take me that long to use, and I'm okay with that. I'm just taking it as it comes and focusing on that one concealer first before I can move on to something else. Okay, the next lot is all like hair care stuff, and this is like the next smallest category I've got because I've either used up the stuff or these are all the things I've touched since last update. So we'll start off with the hair oil, and each month there's been like a decent progress here, and I've just marked it down. I think there was a month when I didn't actually use a product, which is fine, but I'm here. I'm literally past the halfway point, which is fantastic, and it does mean that over the next couple of months I could use this up. But the problem I'm having is I've stopped using that product because I started to try and use this product up instead. And as we can see, I've actually used a massive amount of this product as well. So I'm hoping I can actually get this one done. I don't know. I'm trying to like interchangeably use both of these so both of them kind of get used up as well. But this is one I really want to get done because I don't necessarily enjoy it. And I've already made so much progress, especially last month. And I'm really trying to make sure that I use it when my hair, after, especially after I've showered, just so it can get actually used up. And that's been the fastest way to use it up. Because I feel like when I use it on dry hair, it just, one, it doesn't work. Two, it doesn't absorb properly in the hair. Three, it just feels gross. So I prefer using it when my hair is actually wet and I feel like I can actually like hydrate the hair. Even that being said, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this product. It's not really that great. Another hair oil I've been using is this one. This is the Nature's Bell Natural Rosemary Oil. I made progress. So as you can see here, these are all the lines I've made, and I'm at this point here. I haven't used as much hair oil as I was initially using. It's a bit of a problem. But don't have that much left. I think even if I continued that sort of same steady progress, I could still get this hair oil done before the end of the project, which I'm absolutely fine with. So there is that. I've used this product once, I think. I took a tip. I typically keep this upside down like this so it's easier to use and actually take out the bottle. Um, there's a high chance I could end up just getting rid of this. This doesn't really do much for me, and it's just like a wasted product I'm adding into my hair. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see how it goes once I've used up all these other hair care products and how I'm still feeling. But if I feel at the point it's just very useless within my routine, it's not really doing much, there's a high chance I could declutter it. I've tried to use this in a project for the last several years, and each time I add it into any project, barely gets used. And it might be like a couple of uses within a year, and I'm really trying to see if I can get more use out of this product this year. So yeah, like this was like I think that thick line was the first I think intro that was maybe last month, and since then there's actually not been enough progress for me to even make another line. So I guess that just says what it needs to say. But yeah, that's all like the hair care stuff. Then move over to like the skincare body care stuff, and I have a chunk of things that I've used. So the first thing I want to talk about is this Beauty Bay Chamomile cleansing balm. It looks very yellow because I've had it for so long, and it's basically just the color's changed. And I think I got these in 2023, I think. So I've had these for a very long time, and this is the last one now, and I'm almost done with it. I tend to use this in the shower once I'm taking my makeup off. And as great as these have been, I'm kind of bored of using these and I want to try something else. So these do the job and I always keep them in the bathroom. I'm probably going to be using these for another like month, potentially. We'll see. But yeah, I've gotten a decent amount of use out of these and I'm ready to just use something else instead. In a similar sort of way, I've had this product. This is a rice water cleansing oil. Again, it's okay. I forgot to also update this product last month, so I haven't actually used that much in a month. That's like 2 months worth of progress, and I've got just under half of this left as well. I don't like this when it comes to removing makeup. I don't really feel like it does a thorough job. So instead, what I do is on the days I've just got sunscreen on is when I use this, when I will use this product, and it works really well. However, when it comes to makeup, I need something that's a little bit more, useful, something like a cleansing balm like this. So I just use the two interchangeably whenever I need them. So a product I forgot to share before. This is actually an empty as well. I use this up. I've had this for such a long time, and it's taken me months and months and months of using this twice a day to finally get it used up. And this is the CeraVe Blemish Control Cleanser. I don't really think it did much for my skin, but also it did get to the point where it was pretty much, I'm pretty certain, quite old because I can't remember exactly when I bought it. I've had since last year, I've now started tracking the purchases and making a note of everything that I bought within a certain year. So last year and this year, I can actually see what I have and what I've used up. But before then, I don't really know. So this could have been a product I bought in 2021 or 2022. Either way, it's a long time to have a said product and not use it up. I don't know what I was on, but I was on something when I was buying. Like there was no tomorrow. But yeah, I'm glad I've used this one up as well. It was okay, but again, I do have my like few favorites that I always go back to, and I just don't think this made the cut. But it's fine because I know this is probably something that somebody else can use and love, but it's just not for me and my skin. On the topic of cleansers, I also have this Glow Recipe Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. I tend to always keep one of these around, especially in case I ever irritate my skin, because you never know when that can happen. Um, in the when I rolled it in, it's like all the way at the top, and since then I've only used a little bit of this, so it's about here. So very little progress, but I've only used this maybe 4 or 5 times, so not much to see progress, but it is a good cleanser and I love having this. I've gone through so many of these since I first started using this. It's actually crazy to think about. I think I've gone through maybe like six, seven of these, which is a lot. I do like the brand. I do like the products. They're just very pricey, which is the only thing that stops me from buying their products more often. But it's fine. We have this hand cream as well, which I think I've only used once since the last update. This is the Ritual Jing Relax Instant Care Lotion. This sits on my bedside table, but I rarely ever use this. I don't know why. I should really be moisturizing my hands before I go to sleep because they're so dry. And even before this video, I could have easily moisturized my hands again, and I still didn't for whatever reason. But this is a decent hydrating moisturizer. I do actually quite like this as a hand cream. It is nice. It's not too heavy, it's not too thick, but it's just a case of like not using hand cream or being too lazy to use one. I think if I actually started to use it, I would be done with this in like a couple of months' time. But it is a good hand lotion. So yeah, from hand lotions going over to foot creams, I've got this one I've been trying to use up. There's not really that much left. I don't know what I did to the product. I think this fell and then it's just gone all over the place. So that's just what it looks like. I've used up, I think, almost over half of this product, which is nice. In total, I ended up with 4 of these. I've used up 2 already, and I've got this one and then one more that I've got to use up. So for this project, I only rolled in one, but technically I could have actually rolled them both in. I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, this one I'm hoping to have done over the next sort of couple of months. I just need to remind myself more often to actually use the cream and then I can actually use it up. But if I actually use it regularly, I could have it done within a month. I'm just lazy. I do this to myself. What can I say? We have a sun cream, sunscreen, or sun cream. This is just got steady progress in it. I'll be honest. So that's where I was initially. That's where I was last update. This is where I am now, and I always use at least 1 to 2 fingers of this product almost all the time. And I don't know why. I would have assumed by now I would have finished it, but it's fine. I've had so many of these. I've actually gone through so many of these. This is not a bad sunscreen. It doesn't make me too greasy and it doesn't give me that much of a white cast. However, if I just use this slightly too much, then yes, I'll definitely get white cast. So I always just do like literally get the product and like spread it on 2 fingers and then basically just use it all over my face. And honestly, that is pretty much enough for me. I don't really leave the house that often, so I don't really feel like I need to top up. But if it's like a particularly sunny day, and if I think I need to go out, then I probably would. But literally, even now, I've got my curtains closed because it's just so hot and trying to avoid as much as I can because I'm trying to heal my skin. My skin and acne pigmentation is just driving me nuts. But yeah, this is a good sunscreen. I've actually used so many of these. I bought like these in bulk because I had like I think 8 at one point, and I've slowly just been using these over like the last year and a half. And then I gave to my little two of these were given to two different cousins as well. But this is a really nice sunscreen, and I actually really enjoy it. Now, like the last products that we have are these two, which is the KP Bumper Razor Body Scrub and Body Lotion. So whenever I use this, I always make sure I'm using this so that both of these get used at the same time or roughly almost together. But as you can see, I've actually marked this. This is where I am now, and oh sorry, on here this is where I am now. So technically, I've got less than half of both of these products to use up. This one's just a little bit more than half, and this one less than half. But I'm not surprised. I have a big body, so I have to use a lot more product than someone who was smaller than me, which it makes a lot of sense. But I try to use these like at least twice a month, just whenever I can actually remember to use these, and it's been okay. I do feel like some of the KP has actually gotten better, and it is a mix of these two products and the next one that I will share as well. But I do feel like I'm going to continue trying to use products like these. This is a nice scrub, and I got these as like a set together, and I'm glad I did. I got to try these out. I've had these for so long though, which is the downside, and I'm glad that I'm finally getting to use these up. I think maybe like another like 4 or 5 months and these will both be done, but potentially even sooner than that, depending on how much I use these or how often I use them. Because if I use them once a week compared to like twice a month, I'm definitely going to get through these faster. But yeah, these are actually surprisingly really good, and I really like these. And I've tried quite a few other things from Fit what's it called, Fab Fit First or First Aid Beauty, and I actually quite like the products. Really butcher that name, but the products have been quite nice and extremely hydrating, which I love. The last little body product I have in here is the CeraVe Salicylic Acid Smoothing Cream. This is the other product I'll be using alongside the first two that I just showed you guys, and I love this. The two combined have actually pretty much helped me with getting rid of some of that KP, and my legs have gotten smoother in certain places. Obviously, I still have a long way to go before I can get rid of all of my KP, but it's a good product. The downside again is I've had this for quite some time, and at this point, I don't know when because I know this was not a product I bought in 2024, which means it's 2023 or before, and it could be at any point. And again, I just can't remember for the life of me. That's why going forward, I'm tracking all my purchases and just keeping a note of everything that I bought in what year so I know for myself. And then if I see that something's particularly old, I can either get rid of it or try and use it up. But yeah, this is a good product. After I'm done with this, I actually have like a full tub of this to use up too. So we'll see how that treats me. But yeah, I'm gonna continue buying KP products that work like this because they actually work, and that's the main thing. And I've actually been enjoying using this product. I thought that this might irritate my skin or something like that, but it's been really nice. It's actually been very hydrating too, which I really like. The last product is this one from Avene. This is the Cicaphate Restorative Protective Cream, and I just use a little bit of this each month whenever I need. So that was roughly like the last update. This is where I am now. It's really hot at the current moment, so I don't know how much of this I'm going to use going forward, but I tend to use like a thick layer whenever my skin sort of feels like I need it. I am using quite a few like BHA like treatment type of products at the moment. So if those sort of get irritated, like start irritating my skin, or I feel like around like this area the skin is like starting to change, I will stop using what I'm using and then use this, especially at nighttime, and it works really, really well. Um, but yeah, I try to keep this in rotation with my product all the time. It's a good product, especially if you have really, really extremely sensitive and dry skin. I think you guys will also really like this product. It's a bit pricey, £16 for like a full size thing, but it is definitely worth it because it is deeply moisturizing, and it is a really nice product, especially for anyone who has sensitive skin. Because I was reading on the website, it can be used, it's literally something that's used for burn victims. Like they can actually use this on their on this burns and also like cancer patients, which I thought that was really interesting. I didn't actually realize there was a lot of stuff you may not be able to use if either you have cancer or you get treatment for cancer. That was the only thing. I mean, those are two things that sort of stood out to me when I was like looking at this product, and those are the things I saw on their actual website. So yeah, these are, again, this is just something that I'll always keep in rotation. Okay, so that's literally everything for this particular update. I'm just hoping that I can have some more empties for next month and actually use up, just like have like usage shown on these products. That's what I really want. But yeah, I'm really happy with how many products I've used up since I started this project plan. I think I'm now down to like 32 products left, and these will definitely keep me going for like a long time because they just, well, there's some products I haven't even touched yet because I have to use up some of these before I can even start on those. But it's fine. I've made pretty steady progress with a lot of these products here, especially like the hair oils and stuff. So hopefully next month I just have a little bit more usage to share with you guys. But that's everything for this update. Thank you so much for stopping by. Catch you next week. Bye.